Archangel Michael says, something is shifting in their spirit, and it's about you. They thought they had time. They thought your silence meant you were still holding on with hope. But now something inside them is trembling. Their hands feel colder when they remember how you used to hold them up without asking anything back. And now that you've stepped away, they've realized that what they lost isn't replaceable. They messed up. More than once. And the shame of it follows them into every room they walk in. They try to smile in front of others, but you live rent-free in their conscience. The people around them are starting to notice. And someone very close to them has said, "You were wrong, and you know it." Type Amen to get blessing 333. They had chances. Heaven gave them doors. But their ego was too loud, and your love was too soft. They couldn't hear your cries in silence because they were too focused on their own shadow. Now, that shadow has swallowed them whole. And suddenly, they're not laughing anymore. They're remembering the way you forgave without needing an apology. They're remembering the way you showed up when no one else did. They look at their hands and realize they let go of gold. They held it so tightly it cracked, and now it's dust they're trying to gather back together. But gold doesn't turn back once it's burned. Type Amen to get blessing 849. Archangel Michael says, they are pacing in circles, trying to write a message that they'll never send. They want to explain. But explanation is not what heals a scar this deep. They want to offer something, maybe a gift, maybe a confession, maybe a secret they never told you. They hope you'll listen. But what they don't know is that your silence has become sacred. It's not revenge. It's revelation. You've changed in ways they cannot even recognize. There's a photograph of you they keep hidden now. Once they showed it off proudly. Now it burns them to look at it. Because that version of you, they'll never meet again. Type Amen to get blessing 572. In their mind, they keep playing the day they walked away. They thought you'd chase after them. They waited. But the footsteps never came. What came instead was quiet power. You began to glow. You built something they didn't believe you were capable of. And now they're the one chasing shadows. They reach out to mutual friends asking about you. They lie and say they're just checking in, but the truth is, they can't stop checking on you. Type Amen to get blessing 209. They never saw your worth until someone else did. That's what truly broke them. Because now they watch from afar as others treat you like royalty. And they realize they treated you like an option. Now they know you were the miracle. Now they know they lost something heaven sent. Archangel Michael says, their dreams are filled with you now. They wake up feeling like their chest is hollow. They try to move on but nothing feels real. Type Amen to get blessing 661. There is something they're planning now. A gesture. A message. A return. They hope it will undo the damage. They're thinking of calling late at night. Or maybe showing up where they know you'll be. But the truth is, they're terrified. Because what if you don't feel the same anymore? What if you've healed in ways that make them unrecognizable to you? That thought alone has them frozen. Type Amen to get blessing 428. A part of them still believes in redemption. But another part fears they are too late. They've gone to someone spiritual, asking what to do. They've written letters. Deleted them. Started voice notes. Erased them. They want to beg, but they know your soul has already grown wings. They watch your growth. And it cuts deep. Because you're now everything they said you couldn't be, without them. Type Amen to get blessing 900. In secret, they are preparing something for you. It might be an apology written in trembling hands. It might be a gift that carries your favorite scent. They've been seen walking into places where they asked about your name. They've hired someone to reach out on their behalf. But even the messenger can feel the regret. Every time they hear your name, their chest tightens. They remember how it felt to lose you, but they don't remember how they thought it would feel this empty. Now they understand, you were never the one who lacked. Type Amen to get blessing 782. Someone warned them. Someone told them, don't take that soul for granted. They ignored it. Now that voice echoes louder than ever. The people around them are changing. Some no longer speak to them because of how they treated you. And karma? It's already collecting its dues. Their own house doesn't feel like home anymore. Even the walls remind them of you. And every mirror shows a version of themselves they don't respect anymore. Type Amen to get blessing 514. Archangel Michael says, your name is on their lips more than ever before. They've whispered it in the dark, hoping it would summon your spirit back. But your spirit is no longer in the places it used to hide. You've ascended. And you left behind the chains they once used to keep you small. They hope to fix it with a miracle. But the miracle is no longer in their control. Now heaven is in charge. And heaven is very aware of what happened. Type Amen to get blessing 388. There's someone else watching all of this unfold. A new connection. Someone who is beginning to see your value, truly. This person is not interested in your past, only your future. And the one who hurt you? They know. They've sensed this shift. They can feel that they're being replaced not out of revenge, but by divine timing. They wish they could turn back time. But time has already gifted you with someone new. Someone who doesn't need to be told twice how special you are. Type Amen to get blessing 611. They remember your laugh. But now it haunts them. Because they never realized it was the sound of their healing. They pray quietly. Not because they've changed. But because they finally admit, you were right all along. They hope their pain is proof of love. But you know better now. Pain isn't love. Presence is. And they never showed up when it mattered. Type Amen to get blessing 770. Now, they scroll through your photos and wonder how you're glowing without them. They ask themselves if maybe you never needed them. But the truth is, you did, until you didn't. You cried for them once. Now they cry for you. But you're not here to hear it anymore. They hope you'll look back. Just once. But your path now is forward, and God has already closed that door. Type Amen to get blessing 122. Even the sky seemed to warn them. That final day you walked away, the air grew colder. The wind carried silence with purpose. But they were too arrogant to notice the shift. Too distracted by noise to hear heaven's whisper. Now it echoes loudly in their loneliness. And in that echo, they hear your footsteps, not returning, but rising. You didn't fall. You transformed. And now they're chasing a memory while you're creating destiny. Type Amen to get blessing 699. They hope to fix it with a grand gesture. But this isn't a fairy tale. This is divine alignment. And they're no longer part of the story. You've earned your closure through resilience. You've written a new chapter with fire in your eyes. And the one who broke you is no longer your author. Archangel Michael says, they still whisper your name. But your spirit now answers to heaven, not history. And what's coming for you is greater than anything you left behind. Type Amen to get blessing 834. They tried to return to old places, hoping to catch your scent in the air. They stood in silence in front of the spot where they last saw you. But nothing remained, just empty energy and their own reflection in regret. They hope to fix it with apologies. But you're no longer seeking words, you're walking in peace. You don't need validation from someone who couldn't see your light when you were dimmed. You gave everything with pure hands. Now you're receiving with holy ones. And the blessings you're walking into, they were delayed until this exact moment. Type Amen to get blessing 932. Their heart is not steady anymore. It stumbles whenever someone mentions your name. The calm they used to feel has been replaced by chaos they created. They tried to find you in others. They tried to feel what they felt with you. But the truth is, they never will again. Because you were rare. You were never meant to be compared. And now they realize it too late. Type Amen to get blessing 188. Their friends don't look at them the same way anymore. They noticed the switch. They noticed how they talk too much about someone they claimed they didn't care for. They're unraveling silently. They smile on the outside, but their nights are full of storms. And those storms whisper your name over and over. You are now the lesson. The one that taught them what love is. And what pride costs. Type Amen to get blessing 477. Archangel Michael says, even their soul is restless. There is no comfort in their spirit. Because they know they violated a sacred connection. They messed up when you were praying for them. They betrayed the only one who stayed when no one else did. They gambled with a heart that only knew how to give. Now, they can't find that heart again. You've grown into a version of yourself that doesn't look back. You've embraced the power of letting go. Type Amen to get blessing 310. They tried reaching out anonymously. You ignored it, not out of spite, but out of clarity. Because peace doesn't negotiate with pain anymore. They hope to fix it with gifts, gestures, grand apologies. But your soul doesn't accept bribes. It only responds to truth, and theirs was always delayed. You've been silently healing. And in that silence, angels have drawn closer. Now you're guarded by divine forces they'll never understand. Type Amen to get blessing 569. They had your heart, your loyalty, your trust. Now, they only have memories, and even those hurt. They replay moments not to enjoy them, but to grieve them. They try to smile in front of others, but the mask is slipping. Your absence is louder than their presence ever was. And it's deafening them. They hope to fix it before someone else gives you what they didn't. But the truth? That someone already has. And it's not out of jealousy, it's justice. Type Amen to get blessing 291. They once laughed at your dreams. Now they watch you living them. Every success you touch stings them like salt on a wound. You used to beg for support. Now you're applauded by strangers. And the applause sounds like thunder in their guilt-filled chest. They tried to count your worth in convenience. But now the world counts you in light. You're glowing with grace they never deserved to witness. Type Amen to get blessing 344. Archangel Michael says, they are seeking redemption, but heaven is watching. They had their time, their season, their chance. You are no longer available in the same time zone. You live in alignment now. And the door to your heart doesn't open with regret, it opens with respect. And that's a key they never created. They hope to fix it by showing you they've changed. But your growth has changed what you accept. And no matter how much they beg, you've already ascended. Type Amen to get blessing 622. They wake up wishing they'd held you tighter. But wishes are not replacements for action. And actions delayed become blessings redirected. You don't even cry the same anymore. Because your tears have turned into prayers. And your prayers are manifesting miracles. They think about you when it rains. Because rain reminds them of your softness. But now, your softness belongs to someone who earned it. Type Amen to get blessing 756. They wonder who's holding your hand now. Who gets to see your raw laughter, your silent strength, your sacred softness. And that wonder burns them from the inside. Because they didn't lose you by accident. They lost you by choice. And choices have consequences. Now they wear that consequence like a second skin. No matter what they do, your name still echoes louder than their excuses. And their future is full of reminders they once called you home. Type Amen to get blessing 844. You were their light when their world was dim. You offered warmth even when you were freezing inside. And now that you've reclaimed that light, it shines so bright they can't even look at you. They've lost access. Not because you're cruel, but because you finally love yourself more. And self-love doesn't tolerate spiritual trespassing. They thought you were weak. But you were a warrior learning peace. Now that peace is your power, and they can't reach it anymore. Type Amen to get blessing 953. They hope to fix it by making promises. But your soul doesn't listen to lips anymore, it listens to patterns. And their pattern is stained with your pain. You aren't bitter. You're better. Better without the confusion, without the manipulation, without the delay. You waited once. But this time, it's heaven's turn to show you what you deserve. And heaven never disappoints. Type Amen to get blessing 720. Archangel Michael says, your name is being written into restoration. And the one who broke you is being rewritten out of your story. They had a page, but not the ending. This next chapter is sacred. It's full of laughter that doesn't need apology. It's full of protection that doesn't demand loyalty first. You are rising into your final form. And those who missed their role, they'll only watch from the sidelines. Not out of punishment, but out of divine order. Type Amen to get blessing 804. And when they try to reach you, the lines will be silent. Not because you've blocked them, but because heaven has. This silence is holy. Your peace has become your protector. Your spirit is shielded by angels. Your name is no longer tied to pain, it's tied to purpose. And they? They will live with the knowledge that they were given a diamond. But they only saw stone. Now it's too late to polish what's already been crowned. Type Amen to get blessing 600. They heard someone mention your name today, and it shook them. Not because it was unexpected, but because it reminded them of everything they threw away. They smiled weakly, but inside, they were breaking piece by piece. They hope to fix it with tears, hoping their sorrow will reach you somehow. But your soul no longer responds to broken echoes. You've evolved into silence that speaks louder than any apology they could ever offer. Now, they walk like a shadow of themselves. Once confident and careless, now hollow and haunted. Each step they take is laced with the memory of your absence. Type Amen to get blessing 408. They pass places where you once laughed together, and they feel the weight of the air change. Everything reminds them of you now. Not in a nostalgic way, but in a gut-wrenching truth, they had it all and ruined it. You were patient. You gave time, grace, understanding, even when it cost you peace. And all they gave you in return was confusion. They hoped to fix it by making others feel sorry for them. But even sympathy feels hollow when the truth finally surfaces. The truth that they were the villain in a story written by your love. Type Amen to get blessing 530. You are no longer available for anything that doesn't serve your future. Your angels have rerouted your path. Your spirit is being led to people who see you clearly. And the one who messed up? They're being led to reflection, not reunion. Type Amen to get blessing 484. Archangel Michael says, let peace be your closure. Let silence be your loudest answer. Let joy be your justice. They hope to fix it with urgency, but heaven doesn't bend for delayed souls. You gave your best. Now, heaven is giving you better. And the better that's coming for you? It has no room for people who mistook your presence for permanence. You were the blessing they were praying for, and they let it slip. Type Amen to get blessing 605. They still pray you'll look back one day. They still believe they can write themselves back into your story. But you already turned the page. Now, you're on a chapter called Elevation. And every sentence is soaked in healing, joy, and new beginnings. No character from your pain belongs here anymore. They feel the distance. And that distance was their decision. Now it's your protection. Type Amen to get blessing 347. You are no longer the person they knew. You are more whole, more certain, more guarded. And the person they used to manipulate is no longer available. They hope to fix it with words they never had the courage to say before. But words without action are just noise. And your spirit now only listens to peace. They were a lesson. A heavy one. But one that made you bulletproof in the places where you used to bleed. Type Amen to get blessing 515. They look in the mirror and no longer like what they see. Because they see someone who ruined something priceless. And that image haunts them more than any punishment ever could. They can't rewrite history. They can only live with the reality. And that reality is, your absence is permanent. You didn't just walk away. You ascended. And your wings were built from every tear they caused. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Archangel Michael says, the battle is over. You don't need to revisit the ruins. You are being led to a garden where nothing reminds you of pain. They hope to fix it with a miracle. But you are the miracle that already moved on. And now heaven is preparing someone who won't hesitate to choose you. This new energy will never ask you to dim your light. They'll never ask you to beg for basics. They will honor the love that others mishandled. Type Amen to get blessing 808. You are protected. You are chosen. And you are moving into a season where love feels like safety, not survival. And for the one who knows they messed up, their chapter ended the day your peace began. And that peace will never be interrupted again. Type Amen to get blessing 999.